Cybersecurity isn't just for engineers anymore. It's for anyone willing to prove they understand how attacks work and how to stop them. Whether you're a student, a career changer, or coming from a non-technical background, the Palo Alto Network Certified Cybersecurity Apprentice certification is your entry ticket into the industry. It's the foundational credential that proves you understand core security concepts, no prior experience required. In this session, we'll walk through real exam-style practice questions so you can think like the exam and pass it with confidence. Let's get started. Question number 1. Which metric measures how long it takes a security team to detect a cybersecurity incident? A. MTTR, MTTDC, MFAD, NAT. Correct answer. C. Separate storage and compute architecture. Explanation. Snowflake uses a unique architecture where storage, compute, and cloud services are separated. Data is stored centrally while virtual warehouses provide independent compute resources. This allows organizations to scale compute without moving data and optimize costs by managing storage and compute separately. Question number 2. Which security control is best suited to block traffic based on the actual application being used rather than only the port number? A. Hub. B. Next generation firewall. C. D. H. C. P. Server. D. Layer 2 switch. Correct answer. B. Next generation firewall. Explanation. A next-generation firewall is best suited to block or allow traffic based on the actual application being used rather than only the port number. Traditional firewalls commonly rely on IP addresses, protocols, and ports, which is insufficient when many applications use common ports such as TCP/80 or TCP/443. A next-generation firewall adds application awareness, allowing it to identify traffic based on application behavior and enforce more precise security policy. A hub operates at OSI Layer 1 and simply repeats signals. It cannot inspect applications. A DHCP server assigns IP configuration information to clients and does not enforce application-based security policy. A Layer 2 switch forwards frames based on MAC addresses and does not determine whether a specific application should be allowed. Application-aware policy is important because attackers and risky applications often hide within allowed ports. NGFWs help security teams control traffic according to business intent, application risk, user identity, and threat context. Question number 3. Which identity and access management principle reduces the impact of a compromised user account? A. Single sign-on. B. Least privilege. C. DNS filtering. D. Static routing. Correct answer. B. Least privilege. Explanation. Least privilege reduces the impact of a compromised user account by ensuring that each user, service, or application has only the permissions necessary to perform its required function. If an attacker steals credentials for an account with excessive privileges, the attacker may access sensitive systems, modify configurations, exfiltrate data, or move laterally through the environment. When least privilege is properly implemented, the blast radius is smaller because the compromised identity cannot access resources outside its assigned role. Single sign-on improves user access experience and centralizes authentication, but it does not by itself limit what the user can access. DNS filtering controls access to domains and is a network security function. Static routing controls packet forwarding paths and is unrelated to identity permissions. In IAM, least privilege is commonly enforced through role-based access control, access reviews, privileged access management, and conditional access policies. Reference/topics, identity security, IAM, RBAC, MFA, least privilege. Question number 4. What is the function of an antivirus solution? A. Regulating traffic based on security rules. B. Providing users protection against DNS poisoning. C. Protecting user credentials. D. Detecting malicious files using malware signatures. Correct answer. D. Detecting malicious files using malware signatures. Explanation. An antivirus solution detects and prevents malicious files using methods like signature-based, heuristic, and behavioral detection. Its main function is to identify known malware, block execution, quarantine threats, and alert administrators. Why others are incorrect. Firewall controls network traffic using security rules. DNS security protects against DNS poisoning and resolver attacks. Identity security protects user credentials through MFA, passwords, and access controls. Question number 5. Which scenario is an example of a DDoS attack? A. Information is extracted without host knowledge. B. A target overwhelmed by a flood of traffic. C. A malicious payload is concealed in a file. D. An email with a malicious attachment is sent. Correct answer, B. A target overwhelmed by a flood of traffic. Explanation, a DDoS, distributed denial of service, attack uses multiple compromised systems to send massive traffic or requests to overwhelm a target and make services unavailable. Its main goal is to impact availability by exhausting network or application resources. Why others are incorrect. Data exfiltration focuses on stealing information. Trojan/weaponized files involves malicious payload delivery. Cybersecurity is one of the few industries actively begging for new talent, and this certification is your way in. Passing the Palo Alto Network's Certified Cybersecurity Apprentice exam proves you understand core cybersecurity concepts and network fundamentals, endpoint and cloud security basics, security operations principles, the foundation needed for SOC analyst and junior security roles. Don't walk into the exam guessing your way through unfamiliar terms. Use CertBoosters practice questions to build real understanding, reinforce the 6 exam domains, and pass on your first attempt. Start practicing now via the link given in the description below, and take your very first step into a cybersecurity career.